Bonjour and welcome to the Free Language Web Tour on how to learn French online. My name is Tim and I'm going to take you on a whirlwind tour of some of the best resources out there for learning French quickly, efficiently, and hopefully without spending too much money or any money at all. Let's start with free language. Allons-y. We have the Learn section, go down to French, and then you will have a whole page full of resources. We've scoured the net and we've brought together the ones which we think are probably the most enjoyable and most effective ways to learn. So here we have French language resources, we have a whole list of different podcasts, the news in French, and French internet TV links as well. There's loads and loads of tools, so just go to freelanguage.org/French and you'll find them all there. There are two other websites which bring together lots of resources to learn French online for free. One of them is by a guy called Jim Becker, and Jim brings together literally hundreds of links for French quizzes and tests and verb tables, all kinds of resources. There's a lot there, so you just need to spend some time looking through the different sites and seeing which ones you prefer, but trust me, there's no shortage. Another one which you might like is Mindsight. Mindsight brings together a whole load of resources, most of which are free. Let me read a little bit from their text. It says, many include a range of multimedia elements such as video, audio, and flash animation. They have something for everyone, for absolute beginners to French to the more advanced student. There is one site in particular that they recommend which we think stands out. So we're going to go and have a look at that in more detail. This is the Learn French site from the University of Texas. It's pretty good. Let's go and have a look. The University of Texas have put together a really comprehensive package for learning French online for free. They have a complete overview of all the major grammar points, as well as some little cartoon characters in there and a little storyline that develops to make it more entertaining as you go along. And at the end of each grammar point, you have an exercise to put it into practice and make sure you've understood everything correctly. One of the best parts about the Texas website is the fact that it's very, very interactive and it's very visual. They have a complete course that you can follow. Just go to this URL here and you'll see just what's on offer. They take you through various different themes and different areas of vocabulary, and for each one have videos of native speakers putting it into practice, and also different grammar points are covered each time. So for example, if we go to the Bon Appetit food section, it starts with the vocabulary, then you have a little bit of phonetic work, you have grammar points covered, and then they're all heard and seen in actual context with French speakers speaking, for example, at a fruit market, or maybe American students putting it into practice as they travel the world. Incredible amount of resources here, completely free, and there's also a lot of activities and follow-up links. It's a complete package. It's pretty wonderful. Another service out there with a whole load of material for free is the freepod.com service. When you get to their homepage, just go down to the bottom and click down here on your create free account link. Once you've done that, you choose your level and you will be presented with lots of different options for looking at materials. So you can listen to a whole load of different podcasts. There are tools to improve your French pronunciation, your French grammar, and this is a service which is also available on your iPod or your mobile device, so you can study on the move. What we particularly like about these guys, not only do they offer a whole big database of podcasts that you can access with accompanying exercises, but they also present all of this material in a really fun and enjoyable fashion. So when they sound like they're having so much fun teaching, it helps you to learn in a fun way as well, and it's kind of infectious. Just have a listen. They're always laughing and having a good time, and it kind of helps you to enjoy the learning experience too. So let's have a look. What have we got? We've got a lesson here where you listen to a conversation and then you can have a look at the transcript. There are accompanying exercises and expansion links. There's always the possibility also to talk to people about what you've been learning in a forum. Fantastic service. The majority of it is free, but there's also a subscription option if you do want to go ahead with that and really really get the full package. If you're watching this in YouTube, there's a link down in the info box where you can click and have a look at that. And if you're watching this on the freelanguage.org site, then there is a link below. So let's move on. Allons-y. A great way to improve your listening skills is to listen to French radio as often as possible. There are lots of different ways to do this online. One way to do it is to go to the Radio France site, and they bring together a whole load of different stations. So we have France Inter, which is general chit-chat, France Info, which is news reports, then we have France Bleu, France Culture, France Musique, and so on, depending on what kind of vocabulary you want to hear and what kind of subject matter interests you. Another possibility is to go to the rfi.fr site. They have a different take on things. They bring together reports and news from all around the world and from French-speaking countries other than just France. So they have Quebec, for example, and French-speaking countries in Africa. Really interesting reports. If you go to the site listenlive.eu/France, they give you a long list of different possibilities. So there's really no limit to how many different stations you can listen to, and I'm sure you'll find at least one which is to your liking. BBC, what do they offer? Well, they are a fantastic hub for bringing together lots of different resources. They have different news resources, different French channels. They also have BBC programs made by the BBC. They're accompanied by transcripts. So you can actually watch the programs time and time again if need be, and follow them with transcripts. And there are also regular series which are updated, and basically you're always guaranteed to find fresh material. There's also the possibility through the BBC website of finding online programs. So here we have TV5, which brings together reports from all around the world. You can watch that on your computer screen, as well as various different comedy programs and French weather forecasts, all kinds of different things brought to you through the BBC website. Have a look at that if you have time. Another website which is fantastic for learning French is the France 24 website. They have news in two versions, English and in French. So you can read the French and then follow it up, check your comprehension by looking at the English version. And you can do the same thing with the streaming news. You can watch the news in French and then English, or vice versa. Fantastic way to learn and absolutely free. Here are a couple of sites for visual learners, or they could be useful for teaching French to kids, or maybe to big kids. Adults who don't want to trawl through grammar exercises and would prefer to learn using some online games and activities. If you go to Lexique FLE, these guys have lots of different activities, all of them beautifully presented, and you can either do them online or download them onto your PC or your Mac. Let's have a look at an example. Train vocabulary. Here you have a dialogue. You can listen to it, practice the pronunciation, and follow it up with some exercises. Lots and lots of material there. Again, another site that offers lots of visual games and activities, hello-world.com. So you have to pay for some of their resources, but there's also a lot free if you go to this URL here. Let's have a look at one of them. This is the weather, and again, as I said, very visual, very interactive. Lots of fun, and for kids and big kids. So I hope that the information on this web tour was useful to you, and if you need any more advice, tips, links, resources, you can go to freelanguage.org, go to the Learn section and French, and you'll find a whole load of other materials there. And there's also on the homepage of freelanguage.org a video on how to learn languages online for free. We recently produced this, and there's lots of good ideas in there. So, bonne continuation, bonne chance, and enjoy your French learning experience. À la prochaine!